All right, can we see my screen?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, great. So yeah, a little bit about me. I'm actually a first-generation college student. My parents moved to the United States 2 weeks before I was born. So I'm very grateful for them and thankful for them, because if it weren't for them, I wouldn't have these incredible opportunities. So I actually grew up in New York City, meaning that I was surrounded by a concrete jungle. And so when I got the opportunity to go to college, I really wanted to go somewhere where I could explore the outdoors, because this was something that I was always really interested in. And so I went to a small liberal arts college called Mount Holyoke. It's a women's college, so that was really key in my career, because that was a place where I could be surrounded by like-minded people, and also people that would support me and give me the confidence to learn how to advocate for myself and really grow as a scholar. So I decided to pursue geology, as you can see here, because I got to go outside and I got to travel the world. So this is in Death Valley, which if you ever have the chance to go to, is such an extraordinary place. So I got to learn about rocks, I got to learn about the earth, and I also really loved marine science. And luckily in undergrad, I had the opportunity to study marine science through a certificate program. So because I went to the smaller school, I could combine my interests both in marine science and geology to focus on the coast. And also I had some incredible professors who encouraged me to do so, which is part of the reason why I am still in academia and hope to continue to pursue academia. So in college, I had some incredible opportunities to travel and have adventure. And here's a picture of me doing a semester abroad program where I got to study ocean science and marine science on a sailboat. And the program is called Sea Semester. And my classmates we were living in cabins, and then we moved over to this boat. This boat is called the Robert C. Siemens. It's a 130-foot brigantine. She's a sailboat. And so we learned how to be crew members, and we also learned how to do oceanographic science out in the open ocean. And we sailed from New Zealand to Tahiti. So that was quite the adventure. I can talk about that for days.
That's amazing. I'd love to have a sea semester for work, actually. I think that would be great to do.
Yeah, they do have opportunities, not just for students, so everyone can check them out. Also in college, I had really great opportunities to do internships and kind of figure out exactly what science I wanted to pursue. And this is a picture from that story that I told you earlier in Woods Hole, Massachusetts. And this is me out in the field. It's absolutely gorgeous. And on the sides, you can see different oyster aquaculture racks that I was taking sediment samples from. And that was my first exposure to coastal and marine science. And that's where my spark came about. As a scientist, I also love teaching. I think it comes naturally to talk about your research and to share it with others. So after college, I decided to take a break from research, just because it can be a lot and you get pretty tired studying all day, and I just wanted to share and teach students. So I again got to travel the world, and I became a geology teacher in Switzerland through a program called Swiss Semester. And what was really incredible about this opportunity was that I could, for the first time, see a glacier, because up until that point, I'd only seen it in a textbook, and I only learned from a textbook. So this was an absolutely incredible opportunity. And I got to hike and ski and just meet some fantastic students. So that was a real highlight of my career so far. And after that, I moved to Maine, where I got to continue teaching coastal marine science to young girls, which was another semester-long program. And I think at that point, I was ready to definitely go to grad school and continue pursuing coastal marine science. And education is still something that's really important to me, and I still do teach as a graduate student at Boston University.
Great.
And so now, sorry, did you say something?
No, go ahead. Yep.
Okay. And now I think I'm a little settled now, but that doesn't mean that I still don't have adventures. I am now a PhD candidate at Boston University, and I get to continue a lot of that coastal research that I did in undergrad. Actually, a lot of the people that I met during that internship are still advisors and colleagues, and I get to interact with them. So it's really important to keep those connections because you never know when you might meet them again. And so here I'm still, 6 years later, still collecting those same sediment cores that I collected in undergrad. And what I also love about my job is not just the collaborating with other people and working with community members, but my day is just so different, or my days are all over the place. So for example, one day I might be at my computer reading papers, analyzing data, having meetings and writing grants. But then the next day I could be out in the field collecting samples and playing in the mud and having the time of my life. And then after that, I have to go back into the lab and collect samples and process those samples, which also brings me a sense of joy. So I love the diversity of things I get to do every day. It's part of the reasons why I love being a scientist, because there's always so much to do and it's all very fulfilling.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, Claudia. This was great. I love exploring the water with you and also the work that you're doing, and so many great messages that you've got across, especially the element of teaching and what you've enjoyed from doing that as well, especially when we get a chance to share our knowledge with others in any capacity. This is actually what also helps to make it come to life for us. So thank you for that. And we look forward to following you on your adventures. We might even encourage you to join us in an adventure in that area of the world, because we do a lot of events for G4G in that area. So that would be fun. We might even come to you in the water.